We got Willie Mack show here. Hassan and Co. keep calling for death, featuring Ethan Klein. Now this looked like it was different than just the suing video. I felt like this is actually adding more context to some different things. And Willie Mack has always been really good at providing more detail than what's initially available at the surface value. And that's something that I like to do, is find a bunch of different angles to go at things from and try to broaden my perspective as much as possible. I mean, when it comes to like trying to find like a bread tuber who's gonna cover this fairly, I feel like maybe Ryan Beard, but Ryan Beard's not gonna make a video on this anymore because these goonbags were so aggressive in their attacking of him that it put them in a position to where he's not going to cover this situation anymore. And this sucks, dude. I really would like a different perspective than just the commentary perspective of this whole situation, but it seems so impossible for me to find due to the fact that it's either outright lying from like Hassan and his groupies, or everybody else just calling them on their nonsense. So I would like maybe somebody else out there who could make a little bit better perspective, because I feel like a lot of people are absolutely unabashedly defending Ethan Klein in this, and I don't think that it's a good precedent to set to where we're jumping straight to this lawsuit that could jeopardize the YouTube ecosphere as bad as this could. And yes, you might disagree with like any sort of React content in general, but I think that it would also hurt commentary as well, and I don't want to see that happening. But anyways, guys, let's get into the video. This is again Willie Mack show. Go give his video a like, give him a subscribe. This good dude gives incredible content, and this is Hassan and Co. keep calling for death.
On YouTube, we got Milhouse, who hates on a woman who was a child bride.
What the f is wrong with you, fuck crazy ass bitch? I'm sorry, folks. I had to call. The word came out, folks. I'm sorry. If I had a button, I would have buttoned it. I can't. Okay, I fucking hate these people. They're horrific. These people are horrific. This couple is a horrible couple. I don't give a f that she was a fucking a child bride, bro.
He doesn't know if anything she said was false, by the way. He's just crashing out because he hates Ethan.
Oh, look, good.
Dude, I hate this type of stuff too. It's like, well, okay, so like when I go off the rails against people, and like here's the thing, I see no problem with calling her like a bitch or whatever. I don't give a shit about that. I'm not gonna stand on a high hill above this when I call people bitches all the time. But I do think it's funny when they just crash out without like looking at any supporting evidence. Like when she gave her testimony talking about like, yeah, we had this like big thing where we were trying to stand up against child marriage, and they just keep leaving us a red because they only care about themselves. I think that highlights a point to show the hypocrisy of iDubbbz and Anissa in their whole virtue signal world that they live in, how virtuous they are. It pokes holes in that they're just self-centered clout goblins that suck, dude. And iDubbbz probably has gingivitis or something, I don't know. Anissa definitely says his mouth smells like poo-poo. But when I look at people like this that just refuse to look at anything critically, like if I took this same thing and just every time Denim's talked, right, I just assumed everything is wrong. No, I just let that retard speak, and when that retard starts to speak, you just realize that Denims is the dumbest chick on the internet. So I don't really have to do a lot of legwork because she just outs herself. And that's what's funny about this situation, is he's crashing out because somebody's saying stuff that hurts his narrative. And when I make fun of these people, I have so much easier, more fair or good faith about it, not just because of the fact that they said disgusting ass shit about like kids and stuff, and these guys were like, yeah, we should protect kids. I mean, it's just such a weird dynamic.
Pause right here, huh? Look at that. I was a child bride. Again, I mean, it's very sad to be a child bride, but to grow up to be an adult bitch. Sorry about that. Ooh, you went from child bride to adult piece of shit. So you and your story.
Noah Samson's been spending his time calling out YouTubers for supporting genocide, even though they don't. He's just lying for views. But the short of it is, if you criticize Hassan in any way, you are an evil Zionist genocide supporter. He ends his
video, which is fucking insane, because Hassan doesn't do jack shit. He's like the worst. Like, it's so funny to me how there's people like out there like actually doing shit and like actually working, and then Hassan's just like sitting like eating fucking like what's that shit, like escargot. He's like eating like escargot and like laughing at the plebeians, how they're so beneath him, while all the bread tubers are dying in poverty and going broke because they don't know how to have an actual decent work ethic. So they post 2 videos a month and expect that to pay all their bills. And you're just watching like this huge decline of like these progressive goon bags when Hasan's sitting on this like mountain of gold. Like, and I think Ethan made this joke, dude. He's like schmog, dude. He's more like schmeg, dude. He's sitting there just rubbing his schmegma all over all these other dead fucking like cardboard personality bread tube channels, just boring ass people that have built their shit. Like right now should be their golden moment, right? This should be the golden moment for all these progressive goon bags and bread tubers. They're like oh, you can make like 87 videos a week, dude. Do what the Quartering used to do. Make 872 videos on Kathleen Kennedy, but instead of Kathleen Kennedy, make your Trump videos once a week. Drop like 3 videos, bro. 3 videos, like 1 Trump video a week, maybe something else a different part of the week. Just keep posting content, because when your video fails and you only made 2 for the month, I don't care how well they're edited, if the video fails, the video fucking fails. So you won't need to have something else there to kind of pick up the slack just in case. And right now you have somebody to make fun of. This is your time to shine. You know when conservative channels do the best? When they're not in the when their guy isn't in the office, they're out there making fun of like old Joe Biden and like or Hillary Clinton or whatever. They have somebody to shit on. You have somebody to shit on right now, guys. Get the fucking work. But no, they want to complain about being broke, and then Hasan sits there and is put at like the golden standard when he does 0 research, and it's just because he's popular.
Video by telling his viewers to do something about it. Wink, wink.
People living in the West have the most power over anyone else in the world to stop the genocide. We are living in the belly of the beast. We have direct geographical, physical access to the politicians, the propagandists, the weapons companies, and the supply chains that are facilitating this genocide. Protesting is great. We should keep doing that. But also, I feel like we have to be honest with ourselves. 17 months in, and what is protesting actually accomplished? Nothing. If we want this genocide to stop, it's time.
I love Lonerbox just obliterating this guy by putting his points up there, just his violent rhetoric right up on screen. It's amazing. I mean, it's so easy with these guys because they're fucking goonbags.
To escalate. That's all I'm saying. So anyways, yes,
I mean, this is the thing why it's so easy to make fun of these guys, is because they just bring it upon themselves. They go out there like, I'm going to call everyone a genocide YouTuber because they disagreed with Hasan Piker, and Hasan Piker is daddy, and when daddy says something, that means we should go out in public and just destroy your local Target. What the fuck are you talking about, brother? What the fuck's going through that lame brain fucking head of yours, dude? It's so funny because then you got like leftists like Lonerbox, and I'm pretty sure like you look at like a lot of the commentary community, a lot of them are like centrists or like used to be Destiny fans, so they're more left leaning to begin with. I think a lot of people just assume that like the commentary is like a bunch of right wing goon bags, when most of us are like centrists that want to make fun of like all the fucking retards, and these guys make it so easy. It's like Andy Pants Gaming, bro. Andy Pants Gaming, every time that absolute goon fuck hits upload on his channel, you know it's gonna be the worst dog shit to ever hit the timeline. And I feel the same way about Noah Samson. The dude puts out a video, calls it high-end content, and does nothing more than yap in front of a camera. The exact same fucking thing I'm doing right now. Absolute 0 talent. He's got nothing, guys. He's just a boring fucking soy bag.
Sentence at a time. It's quite clear. We in the West have direct physical access to a bunch of people, including the propagandists, after just labeling a bunch of people creators, propagandists. What does protesting achieve? Well, some things, but
well, what you're not understanding, Lonerbox, is this is the good type of propaganda. It's on there. When the propaganda's on your side, it's good propaganda. If there's anything like trying to denounce your propaganda, even if it's facts, that's evil propaganda. Even if it's true, it's still, we're gonna label it as evil propaganda because we're fucking retards.
Overall, basically nothing. If we want this to stop, we need to escalate. That's all I'm saying. I'm sorry, if you had a clear vision for what needs to be done to stop the genocide, you would say it because you want to direct your audience into something.
They don't, though. That's the problem. They don't have a clear. I have yet to hear an actual an actual solution to the conflict in the Middle East. I have been dying to hear any sort of actual solution, but these motherfuckers are so lazy that they just support Hamas, support Houthis, like blanket support. They put blanket support out there, saying nothing about what their ideal situation is. It's like, oh, so wait, do you want all of Israel just glassed? Okay, then say that. Well, okay, so you want all the Israelis to leave. Okay, let's go that direction. But you won't say that because that sounds super anti-Semitic. So you dance around it. And you don't give an actual solution. I've even said in the past, dude. I remember when Ryan Beard was getting lambasted. I said you could go to Israel, take over their entire government, and create absolute peace in the Middle East by just making everybody happy. And they people on Twitter instantly call me a Zionist. They're like, that's literally the definition of Zionist. I'm like, how is taking over a government and completely changing the government system Zionism? Like, what the fuck? You guys are so retarded and so weird that you don't have any solutions whatsoever. You don't want peace, obviously. What the fuck is your goal? Nothing. You guys just, you're a bunch of cum goblins, dude. Just fucking slow joking it into a corner with a mirror up to yourself.
Fruitful, unless the thing you want your audience to do is against TOS, criminal, violent, etc. He's calling for people to do something that he is too cowardly to say himself.
Exactly. This is 100% the problem, dude. This is why like Hasan utilizes people like Noah Samson and Bad and Panada, because they get a little closer to that line against TOS. They get a little snippet closer to really try to irk it over that line.
He's calling for people to do dirty work for him. That's what this is.
He wants them to send more skulls to Ethan Klein.
Just a death threat to a father, a family.
Since then, 2 low-level staffers at the Israeli embassy were shot in D.C., all in the name of Palestine. But what was Noah's response in his charity live stream? Well, it's to dismiss it as not being serious and mock people who found it worrying.
Smart move on not covering current events, by the way. You mean specific current events or in general? Because 2 pro-peace Jews dead. Read what they were saying. Pro-peace is crazy.
Even so, would they deserve it?
Yes, it did. Noah has repeatedly made calls to violence and multiple protesting isn't enough. Goodbye. No, I'm scared. Oh, I'm scared. YouTube video scared me. No. That sentiment, though, is 1,000% true. That protesting isn't enough.
So you're calling for escalation against...
Jesus Christ, dude. Like, doubling down on protesting isn't enough is crazy, dude. Just protest. Just use your freedom of speech. After that, you start getting into where it's not freedom of speech anymore because it's actions. Actions are not protected under the First Amendment. Only speech is. So, I'm saying this to everybody who wants to protest, everybody who wants to fight for a cause. I fully support you to be able to fight for that cause, to go out there with your signs, to rally support, to really stand for what you believe in. But once you start causing civil unrest, like breaking down stores, burning cars, doing all these other goon shit, stopping traffic, I don't support you anymore. It doesn't matter what side you are. I didn't support January 6th. I didn't support BLM. I don't support any of that shit once it turns violent, because the moment it turns violent, you are not a peaceful protest anymore. I don't care if there is peaceful protesters there. It seems so funny. Doesn't matter which side of the fucking political spectrum, when one of them, when chaos breaks out, they don't condemn it. And I feel like that is the biggest problem in the U.S. right now is you have both sides like, well, they do this, well, they do that. How about you condemn both of them? Condemn all the violence instantly. That'd be so fucking simple to me.
Propagandists, and you just made several videos calling Ethan and other YouTubers propagandists. We're already at the point of death threats, Noah. What does further escalation mean? People like Noah are cowards because they don't want to ruin their cushy lives.
It is unambiguously a call for violence, okay? I'm sorry. And he doesn't want to spoil his cute little life. He doesn't want to fuck his income and ruin the little cushy career that he's got a hold of. He doesn't want to do that. He wants other people to fuck up their lives and get
This is what I think of Noah Samson. It wasn't even a good burp, bro. It like fucking fell down, dude. It was a gay burp. It was a little fucking gay burp.
thrown in jail or whatever else for him. He wants other people to be Luigi or fucking what's his face, Aaron Bushnell. Interesting that he said propagandists, because that might actually encompass the people that he's just spent the entire video calling genocide defenders.
Ethan is making the obvious observation that these people are encouraging an escalation of violence inside the United States, and Hasan crazy makes him.
Understand that me and Gila are just as valid targets to them. I don't think so. That's ridiculous. I've known this as people like Hasan and iDubbbz lecture me about hallucinating threats. I knew this the moment I ended Leftovers. Why would I want to be a member of a community that would literally cheer on my death? There is a toxic, violent, nihilistic extremism brewing on the left, and it should scare all of us. No, this is a hallucination. Have some fucking dignity. You are not a victim, just a narcissist.
Then a Jewish group marching for hostages to be released had a Molotov thrown at them. Now, Noah did delete this section from his video.
This is something like absolutely insane, dude. Like we had the manifesto that like Hasan didn't even critique. He just read it on stream, fully like basically just slammed his penis on it and like signed in his own cum saying I kind of agree with you. And then you have fucking Noah Samson here that he's not really he's like, oh, you maybe should look into the people that they shot a little more. That doesn't make it okay for them to be shot. I'm sorry. If you have a difference of beliefs in politics, that doesn't make it okay for you to be murdered in the street. I'm sorry. And then like when the whole like catching that guy on fire in Colorado, it's like, well, he didn't kill anybody. Yeah, but he hurt people. Like, what? We're just like, it's okay because he didn't murder anybody. Like, get the fuck out of here. Disavow, disavow, disavow. That's what you got to do with these fucking like psychopaths. All they do is make your entire movement look like fucking nut jobs. Because at this point, I'm believing that a lot of you are.
Video, but as we just saw, he doubled down on his charity live stream. It's such a bad look that they act like Ethan wasn't sent skulls as a death threat, that the H3 crew sent the skulls to themselves.
You guys opened it. You're the ones that fucking opened that shit. AB, that was you handling it, right?
Have you ever read about
It's so funny, dude. And, like, I don't even think that he has to defend this. I don't think that he has to even pretend that like it's like these are the people that like signal boosted the CPS stuff. These are the people that like will send you death threats just for like covering the shit and like harass you like endlessly. Like I use harass a little loosely there because of the fact that I don't really feel like a bunch of angry YouTube comments on like me covering this is harassment. I think it's funny. But I have to say, the only people who have jumped from my, or who have been angry enough to jump from my YouTube channel to my Discord to try to argue politics with me a little more personally, has been the Hasan Goonbags. And that takes fucking dedication. These guys are fucking dedicated. They're dedicated weirdos.
Yes, it was. I can confirm that Ethan did not send it to himself. And
How do you know?
We were all freaked out by it.
I was scared out of my mind.
I mean, yeah, we have armed guards at the office now. That's not funny at all.
And someone sarcastically replied, calling the cat account racist. And the cat account responded, to be fair, Israelis do be constantly lying. So he's just being racist.
Oh my god, dude. That cat account sucks, bro. That cat account popped up a bunch of times on the internet right now. I can't remember what his name is. I'll find him in a second. But, dude, that, well, I guess I can fucking go back 2 seconds right here. Gato Fua Mordor. Fua Mordor. Dude, he's got Mordor in his name. Mudor? Fumador, like the cigar thing. I'm fucking retarded, dude. But yeah, Gato Fumador, dude. This guy is a psychopath.
These do be constantly lying. So he's just being racist right here out in the open. But it's fine to these people because it's against Israelis. They reply again. They could start by not constantly getting caught lying.
By the way, we're gonna do like a quick backtrack on what this guy's internet looks like right now, dude. Thank you for these. These are perfect. I don't know. Starting to doubt being neurodivergent is a source of a person's medical perspective abilities. Are neurotypical people just being unable to correctly process this guy's body language because it's visibly obvious lying all the time? It's actually kind of amazing how clear it is. I am an emotional awake of the it's about the Holocaust Museum. Oh God. I don't even know, dude. I don't even. It's probably wild. That's paints war or planes in red. UK government terrorist group. Oh, God, it's just supporting. Finding Iran will succeed in freeing Israelis from the evil Zionist regime. Okay. I'm trying to find something if we got anything like crazy. I mean, like, he just pops up and replies all the time. That's where I see the most unhinged shit from him. So let's see if we can find, Oh, whatever happened to the money-loving psychopath lawsuits against Noah Samson? Well, I do think that this is a lot different than Noah Samson, so like comparing them is very disingenuous, to be honest. So the Noah Samson thing is over defamation. I do not think he will win that. I really don't. Muda might have a better chance, and I think that's why they banded together, because Muda is from Canada. So I think that there might be a little bit different situation going on there to prove the defamation. He's like, I'm in Canada. I think defamation's easier to prove in Canada, so that might be a thing. But in the U.S., I don't see him winning a defamation lawsuit. Now, a copyright lawsuit, I definitely see fucking him winning. And it's like, people say all sorts of shit. Ethan in particular has been lying constantly. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that he's not suing them. I don't know. I mean, oh yeah, this is just saying that he's not pro-Palestine, which is so fucking stupid. I don't know, we went on enough of a tangent. That guy sucks. This guy fucking sucks. He's an unhinged goon bag. I didn't find anything absolutely bad like I usually would. It seems like every time this guy pops up, it's just like the worst shit on the internet, so I don't know.
Lying about it. So I said, show me proof of him lying right now. No response, because these people don't care about the truth. If you criticize them, they'll label you their enemy and dehumanize you, a person who barely deserves a spot in society.
I think like this will never happen, but in a totally just world, any kind of, regardless of your background, any kind of fucking Zionist tendency should be treated in the same way as being a fucking rabid neo-Nazi. And you shouldn't even let someone be the fucking local dog catcher as Felix was posting.
The dog walker comment, the local dog catcher, or whatever it was, that was exceptional from you, and that is progress. You might not see it, but it is.
What's crazy is the creators that Hasan and company hate largely agree with them on the main issue. What people have a problem with is their dishonesty and lying.
We have a lot of grievances not pertaining to the actual issue at hand. But
I don't know. The issue, my friend, the issue at hand is your behavior.
Committing a genocide.
I can care about two things, Hasan. It's very important to acknowledge that.
Don't you think?
I can care about two things, my friend.
Incredibly narrow framework
very
surrounding
easy.
your own.
This stuff gets a little toxic. I need a breath of fresh air.
Oh god, dude. Oh god. We got, if you want his goon stick, you can go to his channel right here. His video is called Hasan and Co. Keep Calling for Death. Willie Mac Show. You can try his little Trifuma bullshit. You can definitely go check it all out. You are happy to suck on your juicy juice. I don't care. I'm gonna skip this.
Hasan's been busy lately, and I don't want him to get away scot-free with all of these new lies, so let's break down his tactics. First one is catching Hasan mid-lie, and then when he knows he can't escape, double down, because he can't ever admit fault.
Do you think it's appropriate to accuse any Jewish person you disagree with of working with the ADL?
To get started...
I'm Hasan, dude, every time he says fucking dude, he's just cooked. I would, by the way, I don't care how big I get on this channel. I don't care if I'm like, become a multi-millionaire. You will not catch me like taking one of these like debates seriously. I just know that whoever I'm going in is trying to be bad faith. I know that I'm gonna not take the thing seriously, and I'm gonna try to clown on the fucker the entire time. And they're gonna try to word salad and gaslight to the point that their audience and my audience are just gonna have it out. That's what's gonna happen. You never see like an audience be like, "Oh my god, dude, that is such a like unanimous win." I mean, even when like Ethan Klein won against Steven Crowder, which like was the most pussy shit I've ever fucking seen on the internet. It was so fucking pathetic. He had Sam Cedar pop in, right? He wasn't gonna argue with Steven Crowder. He was like psyopting to get somebody else in there to argue with him, which isn't good faith at all. But still, both of their audience says, "Oh, Ethan said Steven Crowder ran away scared." Steven Crowder's audience said basically that he was a spineless little bitch, which I kind of agree with Steven Crowder's audience in this situation. Not that I'm condoning what Steven Crowder in any sense. I'm just saying, like, you look at these situations, whoever's both audiences, nothing's really going to change. There's really no point to these other than to kind of like broaden your points for your audience and entrench your audience a little more. I see no point in doing this. You will never catch me arguing with one of these political goon bags.
Right here, Hasan's caught off guard because he knows he said something stupid.
No.
Ethan then plays a clip of Hasan doing just that.
When his knows I'm not anti-Semitic and making these inferences that I am, and like partnering with like the ADL and
partnering with the ADL. You want to unpack that one there, buddy?
Yeah. Again, partnering with the ADL. That is precisely what took place.
This is so fucking gross, dude. It's like saying that, like, oh, my neighbor speeds down me and my neighbor don't like that you speed down your driveway, right? Or no, not even that. Okay, so I tell a guy down the road that he's speeding down my driveway and I don't like that. Could you please drive a little slower? And then my fucking neighbor reports him to the cops. And I never spoke to my neighbor. Let's say I've never even like looked at, I've seen my neighbor 3 times. The dude's like an incel, right? The dude comes out in goblin modes in his bushes sometimes, and that's the only time I catch him, right? And and he says that me and my neighbor partnered up. That is still a better example than him working with the ADL, which is crazy because I live in a closer proximity, right? But I just don't, it doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. This argument is fucking retarded. There is no partnering happening. When you partner with something or like work alongside something, you are working with them, you're in contact with them, you're having like open communication, and this motherfucker never had any of that, but he's gonna lie to his audience to try to prove that.
Spoken to them,
which is disgusting. How could you gaslight your audience so bad and be so fucking willfully lie by omission to such a degree that and people still take you seriously? And this is why I think that Hasan's audience is a bunch of cultists.
The ADL. So what does that mean?
Now, there's no evidence that Ethan colluded with the ADL other than the ADL also hates Hasan. So Hasan's only option here is to double down.
I'm not saying you directed the ADL
Do you know
to take
how
action.
silly you
Well, actually,
look?
you know what? I am kind of saying that. I am implying that you directed the ADL to take action.
Well, that's
you are prominent.
That's a defamatory claim that has zero proof. And frankly, it sounds a little Jewish conspiratorial.
What kind of prominent content creator? Why would the ADL take such notice if he was just a regular content creator? You don't think the ADL? Oh, it's because he's a prominent Jewish content creator, and you know the Jews have a secret cabal underneath society, under the subways of New York, where they secretly try to figure out who they want to tear down in society because it's an evil secret. Oh no, dude, you're being a fucking idiot.
And finally, he tops off the lie by making a meaningless distinction, but acting like it was a well-thought-out comment.
I thought that you worked for the ADL.
I've not spoken to the ADL.
I would have said you worked for the ADL.
Hasan's thinking he's Jewish and criticizes me. Must be working with the ADL. He's not done either, and you have no evidence. He's just lying.
You never know, dude. That's super secret under the subway systems of New York. There's a super secret cabal of Jews running the entire world, according to people like Hasan. It's like, I'm just kidding. Hasan has never said that. This is a joke. I have to say that for YouTube, not to like swing his giant fucking man meat down to my throat so that I can keep my channel. But this is retarded. This is like so insane that it's like I don't like the ADL. I think the ADL is retarded. I think that they are a danger to free speech. I've always agreed with that. And I feel like people like Ethan Klein and like even people like Nuxanor who like hate you to a new degree have all came out and disavowed the ADL because they don't like what they stand for. You are the only person who thinks that everybody's tied to the ADL. You're a goon bag.
Trying to slander Ethan's character, and when pressed to find an example, he says the dumbest thing.
It got nothing to do with the ADL. Blame Frogan for doing a racist fucking panel at TwitchCon that became a viral story, independent of me.
Panel, Ethan, just like cracker is not an anti-white term.
Okay,
cracker is an anti-white.
It is definitely an anti-white term. It is like to say that it's not. I mean, like. You can stand on a hill where you say that, like, you can go die on that IDubbbz hill where it's either all okay or none of it's okay, which I'm for the freedom of speech side, dude. I think everything is okay. Make as many fucking unhinged jokes as you want, be as edgy as you want, I don't care. I think that it makes for funnier entertainment. But these guys, like, to sit there and say that it's not an anti-white term is fucking retarded, and then to double down on the fact that it's like, oh, well, it was never a racist tier list. It was always about hummus. Get the fuck out of here, you lying fucking gaslighters.
So did Hasan think he was yelling about brown people all those times he was saying cracker? It makes those clips come off a little different.
Did I say oh my God, saltine cracker. Like people are just bitter because it's saltine cracker. That's not what I said. You dumb cracker bitch. This person has literally never been around black people. There's a person who does not have a single black or brown friend.
I want you to remember that Ethan and Hasan don't disagree on much. And when Ethan confronts Hasan with this reality, he essentially says, I just don't like that you criticize me.
Because I thought that you were a lot more open-minded until
what have we disagreed on?
What
have we disagreed on? I'm sorry. What am I not open-minded about? What have we disagreed on, Hasan, other than me criticizing you and your friends? What have I said against the Palestinian people? Go ahead. What do we disagree on?
What we are disagreeing on is what you choose to focus on.
Does that seem
and
significant?
What you think is the major point of contention here.
The main point of contention is you slandering him as a genocide defender.
Does that...
Exactly. That's been the entire purpose of this entire thing. None of this has had anything to do with the Palestinian. Like, that's what's so funny. Every time I cover this, people like want to like pull me into a blood feud in the Middle East. I don't give a shit about any of this. What's important is like trying to take every little example they can find to twist it into a narrative that one, he's like a bad parent, which deserves to have CPS called on him, which is disgusting and evil and vicious. It's like I see it as the same as swatting, sending like skulls to his house. I mean, this is not this is a fucking internet drama. This isn't a political drama, and a lot of people in the Hasan camp are thinking this is a giant political feud, but it really isn't that. This is about the drama, and these fuckers want to turn it into politics so they can use all the dead bodies in Gaza. They want to fucking take some trucks with some plows on them, push all those dead bodies in front of them, and just sit behind their happy little meat shield so that they can win a YouTube shouting match. It's disgusting. It's despicable.
Justify like lying about me continually for a year and a half just because you don't like where I'm focused? That seems immaterial.
Lying about what?
About me being a Destiny fan, about hallucinating, sweeping for your anti-Semitic friends. Lying about context, saying that my video's out of context without watching it. Hasan.
Game of Thrones.
I mean, I do like that he started saying Hasan because Hasan kept doing this. Ethan, you're crazy, Ethan. And all he's doing with that is he's signaling to his audience what the narrative should be. And this is something that I think a lot of people aren't like honing in on. Is he started by calling Ethan crazy, unhinged, and he would stop and do the little Ethan, you're being unhinged, Ethan. And what this is doing is basically reaffirming his audience to not listen to what Ethan has to say and to just see him as an unhinged, rambling man, which is so fucking gross. And the fact that these idiots buy it up makes me 100% think that if they were hanging out at Hasan's house and he brought out the Flavor Aid, they'd all drink it, and it wouldn't be good for them. So they're cultists, bro.
Take your time.
He's silent because he knows Ethan's right. They then get into a debate about the rapes on October 7th. Hasan doesn't engage and just starts talking about other rapes as if it somehow makes it even, like he doesn't need to talk about it anymore. It's very weird.
You seemingly act like you care about sexual violence taking place against Israelis. Meanwhile, one of the hostages that actually was returned in the early stages did get raped by an Israeli fitness instructor.
You know,
I have not seen you talk about that. I have not.
Dude, this is so fucking weird. Why the fuck does that matter? Why does that matter? Okay, yeah, bad. Shouldn't have done that. That was evil guy. Put him under the jail cell. Fucking bury him 8,000 miles below sea, bro. Definitely deserves the worst of the worst. What a goon bag, right? Easy. Look at that. I disavowed it. Now you disavow the rapes that happened on October 7th, Hasan, which you won't do because you keep pretending they never happened, which is disgusting. You can still have your same position. You can still have your same position and say the actions of October 7th were bad. I do think that they were, you could literally go like this. This isn't my thoughts. This isn't what I said. But you would say, I think the actions of October 7th were bad and evil. I do not like them. But at the end of the day, I do think they are a microcosm of the actions that the Israelis have taken. Wow, look at that. You disavowed and also still stood by your cause. Well, how crazy is that? But these guys have to be 110% in at all times and can't put any criticism on the side they're defending, which is pathetic. And that's some like 12 that's like middle school brainlet activity right there. That is absolute retard behavior.
Seen you talk about the Israeli pro-rape
crime that an Israeli did unrelated to the conflict.
Israel
Do you find
had
it interesting?
January
There's something
6th
that I
style Israel had a January 6th style pro riot where a bunch of rabid.
Also, by the way, I wanna like sit here, right? They utilize January 6th all the time, and I instantly can disavow, like, as soon as they broke the windows of Congress or whatever, or Senate or whatever the building was. Then once they broke those windows, I was like, you guys are fucking violent protesters. Look at that, dude. Look at that. I instantly disavow all of that action. And then Hassan will go to protests where they're burning cars and shit and pretend like it's not bad and call the police the Gestapo. Call them the bad guys. Won't disavow any of the bad going on. He will only disavow the people stopping it. Like, you see the double standard here. You see the hypocrisy. And then he will prop up the protests, the protests that went violent, and like make them the worst things of all time, and tone down his. And then he will continue utilizing those to strengthen his points with everything every protest he doesn't agree with, or every type of situation he doesn't agree with. He will utilize them. And this is just me pointing out Hassan's own doublespeak.
Right wing.
Do you think I'm defending this? Why I'm not defending it.
Again, dude, nobody, like, Ethan's right here. He was never defended this. I don't defend whatever this fucking weird J6 or fucking BLM style protest happened. See how I did that? Both violent protests, calling them both out for being fucking violent. Protests in Israel. Nobody was talking about that. Nobody cared about that. Nobody was fucking touting up that type of shit. You were the only type of person, Hassan, who defends violent protests. Only guy. It's you. You're the one who's defending this type of shit day in and day out. When normal, rational people disavow the violence, you fucking stand for it, and then when you get called on it, you utilize, well, look what the other guy is doing. Look what's going on over here. Don't look at me. Look at how these guys are bad. When you could say both bad, both, I understand their sentiments on both sides. There were a lot of peaceful people at both of them, but that doesn't make the protests a peaceful protest. They turned violent, and therefore it has became a riot, or whatever the narrative you want to say in that situation of it turning violent. That is like the more rational situation to be at. And I hate when people sit like, my side's better than your side, when you look at both of them and you're like, wow, I see the same fucking thing happening.
He's just rambling off things that aren't related in any way, and then he yells at Ethan for being on topic.
Listen to my words.
Touch my private parts.
Because you're not going through this in a dignified way, and I think it's very gross. What you're doing here is simply weaponizing a victim
you are so pathetic.
as a fucking prop.
Bro, you literally just did that to Ethan. The third tactic is the gaslighting technique. We all know Ethan's been targeted with CPS calls, death threats. AB is being called an Uncle Tom, a house slave by Bad Empanada, purely because he's Lebanese and works for Ethan. But since Ethan can't figure out the exact person who called CPS, Hassan's gonna act like no one's responsible.
I have never once in my entire life, Hassan, experienced the amount of harassment, the organized, psychotic campaign to try to ruin my life, all of my employees' life, my family's life, their family's life. This is your community acting in response to what you're saying about me being pro-Zionist. So do I think it's worse? In my experience, it's much worse.
My community that's done any of these things that you're talking about. Who calls CPS?
Dude, your fucking community is the most vicious community out there. I mean, your own fucking waiting room streamer, the streamer who literally streams until you go live, Denims, unapologetically signal boosted Bad Empanada's video about how it was so stupid. He literally said because Ethan's old maid is suing them, right? His old housekeeper suing them. It's because his house was so disgusting, when nothing in the lawsuit has anything to do with the working conditions. It has to do with wrongful termination. It is such an easy debunk that I couldn't believe how easy it was. When I looked it up, during that drama, I looked it up and I was like, holy shit, dude, this is all bullshit. Bullshit is what it is. It's dog shit. It is the man who fucking burped a massive, glorious burp there for 2 seconds does better research than you absolute goon political analysis. How is that possible? How is it possible that the guy who makes cum jokes every 2 seconds is doing better research than the people doing the hit pieces?
Yes.
What the fuck? So I don't know.
So you don't know who calls CPS, and yet for the past couple of months you've been like, it's whoever I don't like that is called CPS.
No.
And now you're claiming that my community is responsible for it.
Adam Panada calls for people to do it. Denim's community calls for it to happen. Ian made a video to 7 million people saying it's justified. And Hasan promotes all
Dude,
of
he didn't even like he like fucking glazed it. Like, not glazed it. He swept for it in that content cop, and then in the content deputy, he justifies it. It's gross. It's disgusting. That makes you guys look like fucking goonbags. It's like, oh, so what? You got swatted, right? It's like people who find out like somebody got swatted, and instead of saying, wow, that's bad, even though I don't like them, I think that this is fucked up, this is happening, I still have my disagreements, but I want to say to my community, don't let this happen. These fucking cum goblins would rather sit there and like fucking hold their audience in place, get close in, whisper behind their ear, do daddy's dirty work. It's gross, dude. It's gross. But and the whisper, they'll say the quiet part, and then they'll come back. No, that's bad. I can't believe somebody would do that. Can you believe how dirty his house is? His kids are unsafe. But yeah, I disavow any sort of harassment. His kids are unsafe. It's gross, dude. This is the shit they're doing. It's backhanded. Everything's backhanded. They'll do a 4-hour stream and say they disavow harassment like once during it, and say that constitutes the same as like an actual statement to their audience. Like, put a video out, say this is important. I disavow this actions. I think that you could have stopped this. This whole thing could have stopped like a month ago, 2 months ago, if you would have just like put the camera on the same way you did when you got lightly questioned by TSA and said, this is what's happening, this needs to stop. But your ego's so big because you fucking spend half your time, instead of researching politics, you spend your entire time glazing your own reflection in the mirror, that you don't care about other people because they're criticizing you. You're afraid it might hurt your fucking sensitive ego, Hasan.
Hasan's getting notes during the debate from a guy called Chris CPS. Anyone with eyeballs knows it's coming from this anti-Ethan community. This gaslighting is brutal, but Hasan is just warming up. Hasan tries to criticize Hila for doing mandatory military service.
Hila was doing mandatory military service. What should she have done?
Oh, well, she just should have gone to jail. Like, she just should have like stood for what she believed in and gone to jail, and not done the required military service. And then when they're like, well, why don't you pay your taxes? And he's like, that's not the same thing. It is the same thing. If you don't support the government and you hate the government, why are you paying the government money? Then just don't see what happens. You go to jail. But you're not going to do that. You're not going to jeopardize your little platform because you don't actually care that much. No one would do that to themselves. What good is it you going to jail for nothing? It does zero good.
There's numerous options.
Yeah.
1, religious exemption. 2, refusing to serve.
But Ethan asked the obvious question. Our US tax dollars help fund this genocide, so why doesn't Hasan stop paying taxes?
You say that Hila could have gone to jail and done a conscientious objection instead of joining the army. Why do you pay taxes? Why do you pay?
Yeah, dude, conscientious object, dude. The money's going to a genocide, bro. Why are you paying taxes, Hasan? That's crazy.
Taxes to the United States
This
government.
is your big argument, Ethan?
Answer the question.
That I pay taxes and I'm morally culpable? I know. That's why I try to
Why don't
fight
you go to
against this
jail?
goddamn government doing
why
this
don't you
shit
stand
every
up for
day.
your? Hold on. Why don't you stand up for your principles and go to jail for it?
Because it would not actually stop.
Exactly. The same point Ethan is making, you fucking retard.
Okay? It would not actually stop.
If Hila objected to being a secretary, it wouldn't stop either. She'd just be in jail. It's just like Noah Sampson wants everyone else to make sacrifices, but they don't want to risk their own cushy lives. I'm using a lot of clips from their debate because Ethan being there to push back makes it easier to point out. But Hasan does this all the time on his own stream. There, Hasan will just make ridiculous claims like the leader of Hezbollah being less anti-Semitic than Ethan Klein.
Ironically enough, Hasan Nasrallah less anti-Semitic than Ethan Klein. I cannot stress this enough. Hasan Nasrallah is less.
Oh my god, dude. Could you imagine having this fucking take? Could you imagine being dumb enough to have this fucking take? This would be insane to me, bro. Like, oh my god.
Anti-Semitic
Hi, Mike. How you doing, buddy? Holy shit, this is bad.
than Ethan Klein. Ethan Klein constantly makes a conflation between Zionism and Judaism. Hassan Nasrallah, on the other hand, does not. The clip that I was watching about Hassan Nasrallah, who is homophobic and definitely has some questionable perspectives.
Please ignore Ian. He's just here to watch.
In America,
Ian's favorite job, old iDubbbz, loves to sit in the soft jerk chair, dude. He's just waiting for Anissa to come in and jump on Hassan Schmeat, so he finally has some entertainment.
you have the major corporations, you have the trinity of oil companies, the weapons industry, and the so-called Christian Zionism. The decision-making
Way to go, dude. Got all your shit done. Now you're gonna record. I hope you come up with some like fucking solid content. I liked your Call of Duty review. By the way, go check out Call Me Mike. This is his channel right here. It's CAL_MEMIKE. Go check out his channel. He has been doing some game reviews. He does Let's Plays. He's a really entertaining character. I like him. I really like his card review or his card opening videos.
Is in the hands of this alliance. Israel used to be a tool at the hands of the British, and now is a tool in the hands of America. Wow. Interesting. Once again, Hassan Nasrallah 1, Ethan 0 on the failing the anti-Semitism, don't do anti-Semitism challenge. Ethan Klein failing the don't do anti-Semitism challenge. Hassan Nasrallah winning the don't do anti-Semitism challenge.
But did I miss the part where Ethan thought Jews secretly controlled the United States? Nothing he showed proved his point, yet look at his chat. They think he's a genius. Hassan talks about himself going on vacation.
Oh my god, his chat is just like if you had the if you had the like all content simple. Mike just said it's very simple content. All content simple. It's all pretty simple. You just fucking compile what you're gonna do and then hit record. As long as you can add some entertainment to it, yeah, you fucking you've hit it out of the park, my dude. But could you imagine just watching that and be like, yeah, dude, this is it. He cooked him. No, nobody in their right mind watches Hassan and thinks he actually cooks. What the fuck is wrong with this audience?
Like he's Vladimir Lenin fleeing the country.
By the way, I do want to point out something here. This is January 31st, 2025.
Hey, dude's got the PS2, the PS3, and the PS5 going, bro. I don't own, I only own the PS5 and the 4.
When this video was released, there was something brewing in the United States of America at that point. Do you want to know why I say this? I point out the date. We were already deep into the Donald Trump Burger Reich administration. At this point, I was in Japan.
What, the Burger Reich? What is that? Is that like their term for, because like I'm guessing it's because he likes McDonald's burgers or something. So, and it's like the Reich or whatever. I think it's like the Burger Nazi Party is what he's saying. That's a great joke, fantastic, well crafted. I'm super. I'm sure somebody in his chat came up with that joke and he just fucking co-opted it. Hassan doesn't have the abilities to craft something anything that intelligent, so it was definitely his chat.
Escaping the fascist administration rising to power.
Yeah, the only way he could survive was to go undercover as an anime waifu.
But at this point, it had been 11 days since Elon Musk had dropped the Sig Heil twice.
Oh no, guys, Elon Musk also did something bad 11 days earlier. How dare Ethan talk about Hassan?
We're 11 days into Donald Trump. The reason why I mentioned this is because Ethan has a lot of...
Dude, he's so proud of himself. The reason why I mentioned this is because he has the audacity to criticize me when we should be criticizing all this other stuff. If you really cared, Dude, motherfucker's just like 2 seconds from tipping his fedora. And the only reason he's like not clown, like could you imagine if this guy looked like half of the bread tubers, like these like every bread tuber that I've seen other than like Noah Samson, they look like the type of people who still live in their parents' basement at like 30 and they're just sad and pathetic. Like this guy is like the same mannerisms, same bullshit as them. The only reason he gets away with as much is because he's like semi put together. If he didn't look as put together as he was, nobody would watch his ass. But he knows that. He's been media trained. His uncle owns a giant media empire. Well, it's kind of failing, but still owns it. I mean, this guy was prepared for this. This guy was prepped for this. He saw how Destiny did it. He copied that, and he just like ego blasted so that he could be more of like the, oh look, I'm the popular attractive guy version of politics. It's fucking gay, dude. This is so cringe.
Issues with figuring out his priorities. If you're freaking out about anti-Semitism on the rise, I would assume that you probably wouldn't make an entire video and use your previously unused platform to attack your former podcast co-host.
Ethan's criticized Trump. He's criticized Elon. So not only...
Both of those things, literally, iDubbbz used a clip from him criticizing Elon, to say that he's done Nazism stuff on his platform as well, to like try to rebuke the sword thing. And it's like, yeah, dude, he was making fun of like the Elon hand gesture. The dude constantly makes fun of those things, and it's so funny to me that they're like, we're gonna stand on these platitudes, but they don't mean anything. They just work in this situation. It's, oh, dude, it's so bad.
Not only is Hasan just wrong, but it doesn't matter. Neither of those things absolve you of criticism. Hold up, guys. Trump passed tariffs. Can't talk about Hasan now. And finally, the most convoluted and annoying tactic Hasan does is the filibuster. It's like a really long, rambly story Hasan tells where he implements a bunch of previous tactics into one. During the content nuke, Ethan criticizes Hasan for downplaying China's treatment of Uyghur Muslims rather than dealing with Ethan.
This is such an important, and I feel like Ethan didn't hit this hard enough. I feel like nobody's hit this hard enough. I've hit this pretty hard. I've hit this so fucking hard on my channel, dude. I've taken my dick down and slapped it down, and I utilized, when I made the video on this, I utilized all these news sites and all these article like headings and stuff throughout the entire video from people like what's the Al Jazeera. I used like Al Jazeera a bunch for that video, and just to fucking prove how stupid this motherfucker is by denying a genocide happening in China because, oh, China communists, they're the good guys. It's like such a fucking third grade understanding of politics. It's retarded, bro. Like, oh, because China's communist, we got to defend them, and we got to pretend like there isn't a Muslim genocide happening. The news sites you're using right now to support your cause with the Palestinians, you called propaganda at that time period. You realize how hypocritical that sounds? It's so insane to me that this isn't hit harder.
Ethan's actual criticism. Hasan fixates on Ethan saying death camps on a podcast 2 years ago.
None of this even proves your point, which was that you watched a documentary that I suspected was like a Shenyun or Falun Gong documentary that said that there were death camps in China. None of what he has shown so far has said that there are death camps in China.
That was not the point Ethan was making. In fact, the podcast Hasan is referring to, Ethan immediately concedes that there may have not been death camps.
Don't they have Uyghur death camps? Is that?
It's not a death camp. They were re-education camps, and they are no longer in operation.
Is that
according
true?
to the Associated Press?
Okay.
So Hasan has clip-shipped a point from a podcast 2 years ago and is applying it to Ethan's video, even though that's not the point Ethan's trying to make.
Part of the reason why I don't think that he was able to prove his perspective in the conversation at all is because they weren't fucking death camps, and I was right. They were re-education camps.
By the way, that really just
means... Dude, it's so funny. Dude, right here. Like right here, I can look up Al Jazeera, right? We're going to do this live on air. We're going to pull up Al Jazeera, which is a propaganda. Like, they are absolutely a propaganda a lot of times, but this is to prove that Hasan utilizes this website for a lot of his information when in regards to the Israel-Palestine conflict. Xinjiang leak reveals extent of Chinese abuses in Uyghur camps. It'd be very difficult to imagine systemic efforts to suppress, to detain, to conduct a camp of genocide and crimes against humanity would not have the blessing, would not have the approval. The highest levels of PRC government said referred to the People's Republic of China. I mean, like, you look here, it's like it talks about the whole thing. It breaks the whole thing down. I mean, Germany was calling for transparency. There was a lot of things going on. I mean, they were fucking reporting on it constantly, dude. Constantly. The borders of tears, interviewing victims of China's Xinjiang president, right? I mean, like, the fact that, like, you go to Al Jazeera and you just type in Uyghur, right? And you get endless articles, right? You get endless articles trying to accuse of erasing religion, culture. I mean, like, opposed reports. President opposed reports on Uyghurs. Like it's funny. You can find examples. You can find shit like easily. Like the same sources that Hassan has. I mean, that was a long article. I wasn't gonna read through the whole thing. I was just trying to find some snippets from it. Like obviously they're gonna prove my point because like it's not hard to see that re-education camps aren't fucking cool, dude. Like, and there's been like reports of like where they're like taking and making women infertile now, so that which is a form of genocide, so that you can just like take that group out of rotation. It's disgusting. It's disgusting behavior, and he defended it just because it's from China. And the fact that he defended it so hard, and now is sitting on the other side utilizing the same resources to prove his points now, is so pathetically hypocritical, and it's insane to me that more people don't call this out.
Prisons if you think about it, but we'll let them cook.
I've always been against that. This is the problem. And people will say, Hassan,
no, he hasn't.
We got you. You said you would be in favor of re-education. There's a difference between re-educating people who have done crimes in the process of rehabilitation, okay, versus doing dragnet.
A crime for you is being capitalist, which is fucking insane.
It's against an entire minority population and mass surveillance against an entire minority population. That is what I'm against.
This is the filibuster. He's not going to engage with Ethan's point, which is Hassan has a double standard for Russia and China because his brand is America bad all the time.
Hassan has happily eaten up the Chinese propaganda on this and has regurgitated it to his mainstream audience. Why is he defending China's genocide of their Muslim population? How does this even make sense? I know America bad is a meme that people laugh at online, but with Hassan, this does actually seem...
And I fucking hate this, too. This is like the whole Iran thing. I don't support Iran at all because their leader literally says death to America all the time. You are not going to find me defending somebody who says death to America. That's death to me, brother. I don't support that shit. But this guy will die on that hill, dude. He likes anybody who hates America, and I think that's disgusting. And I don't want anybody with that mindset who hates America to be not like to have like a position of power. I think that they can have their platform, they can say whatever they want. I'm for free speech, but I don't understand how anybody in their right mind could listen to this, be like, yeah, dude, let's go for the person that's the opposite of our own self-interest. Fuck you, dude.
To be the beginning and the end of his analysis.
2 principles. Let me explain to you 2 principles that you should keep with you, coming from a person who's Turkish, okay? Never align with the Western forces.
By the way, he was born in New Jersey. Hassan Piker was was born in New Jersey. New Brunswick, New Jersey, on 1991. The Turkish dude, he's American. Like, he always talks about being Turkish. When did... see if he lived in Turkey. Okay, we'll go right here. We'll do a little bit. Hassan Piker was born to Turkish parents in New Brunswick, New Jersey, but grew up in Istanbul. So he did grow up in Turkey. Look at that. But he was born in the U.S. So like at the same time, he is American, like 100% born in the USA. Like it's insane to me. It's insane to me. That he acts like he's like this 100% Turkish, but if he was like, he grew up in Istanbul, but what years did he grow up in? When did he come to the U.S., dude? During senior year of college. So in college, he was definitely here. So at this point, he's lived in America longer than he's lived in Turkey. But I don't know. I can't find anything else. Like, let's go early life. Let's go early life real quick. See if we can find early life here. Yeah, I guess that's it, dude. Former member of the board of, this is about his father. What is the Future Party? Political party formed by the Prime Minister. Nation. Parliament. It doesn't really have a lot of information here. What about this guy? Let's look at this guy. Life and career. became more than just a regional power, with Europe and the Middle East expression desire for a far more influential world in politics, and Islam, relations with the Muslim Brotherhood, Minister of Foreign Affairs. I mean, so his family has had strong political he like, this guy's has like he's like the king of nepo babies. Jesus Christ. Like, his dad has like so much influence, dude. Holy shit. Oh my god, dude. Like, you look at like the amount you look at the amount of fucking like pull. His uncle runs Young Turks. His father is a big political leader over in Turkey. Like, this guy has had it made since the beginning, dude. He's been media trained since birth. Like, get the fuck out of here with the, I'm like, I hate this guy, dude. Like, this guy is like a psyop. I 100% believe this guy is not, there's no way that he's 100% genuine about anything. This dude was like trained to be this.
After 20 minutes of Hasan going on unrelated tangents, he pulls up a stream he did on October 13, 2021. He read an AP article that was critical of China, and he partially agreed with it.
This is the breakdown, okay? This is where me and a lot of defenders of China...
Have you ever...
Oh my god, dude. Of course he... Like, this is where he's going to be, like, critical, like, a slight bit of critical, but then defend it unabashedly. It's going to be insane to me, bro. I'm betting money, bro.
Ways. I think that is completely and wholeheartedly unacceptable.
Article that was critical of China, and he partially agreed with it.
This is the breakdown, okay? This is where me and a lot of defenders of China part ways. I think that is completely and wholeheartedly unacceptable. People that unconditionally defend China think it's totally appropriate because they're all fucking extremist Muslims, okay? To me, that sounds a lot like, you know, you're a reactionary conservative, but for China.
He's being so careful when criticizing China. Where's all the screaming?
So when I look at other countries, I look at the regional actor, whoever the regional power player is, and then I look at who is backed by the Western superpowers. That's a principle that you could take home with you. If you want to actually be moral, or if you want to be smart about the way you analyze other
countries. If you want to be moral and smart, just take everything that Hasan says, delete it from your memory, and you will be a better person for it.
And then 1 month later in 2021, Hasan would get mad at the news for criticizing China over the same thing. And he would cite the same AP article for why China is cool.
I wanted to stand up for my Muslim brothers and sisters who are in, concentration camps, are getting tortured and raped every day. And I don't care whoever said which organization.
Dude, here we go. The dude who like defends, like who like stands. He is the proud fighter for all of Muslims. Now doesn't defend them.
Or which company?
Bro, the Associated Press literally said, like, not like a fucking, not exactly known as like a pro-China outlet, but even the Associated Press quietly fucking wrote an article that didn't get a lot of coverage in mainstream media about how, like, okay, well, all the concentration camps have been closed now.
Dude, absolutely. This is a great chat right now. I think multiple things can be true at the same time. One, love America, talk against the issues of capitalism, and denounce foreign regimes. You can do all of that things. But, like, to stand from the position that America's always evil, that anti-America's always good, is so retarded, because then you end up like this, dude, where you can't criticize the thing that you're glazing. He constantly glazes China and Russia. At the time, he would constantly glaze China and Russia to the point that he was like anti-Ukraine at the beginning, but then when the political shift happened, when the winds changed, he changed with them, because now Russia's a dictatorship, and it wasn't actually cool communism. It's now disgusting, like, alt-right fascism. And now we got to make that distinction now, guys, because my chat thinks it, so I have to think it as well. But he was so glazing this because he loves communism so much, but now he's changing his position to now defend this same type of rhetoric. It's like so insane to me. It's so insane to me that we're going to glaze China for doing like disgusting activities, when if you have any inkling of saying that like Israel's okay at all, you are just you're a Zionist, you're a racist, you're anti-Islam. It's like hyperbolic rhetoric. The dude's absolutely insane.
Like
still
all the
might be
re-education.
Yeah, dude. And America has done a lot of atrocity. American done atrocities. You can call them out, but every country has a dirt trail. I'm still going to love my home, even with the wrong. Absolutely, absolutely. And we just have a problem in modern culture where it's like we can't talk about things in the past without just like harping about how evil America is and how bad of a place it is, without also putting in the understanding that it led us to be where we're at today. And we're as a country, as a fairly young country in perspective of time, like compared to a lot of these places, we have made leaps and bounds in terms of like betterment for the world and betterment for like different like groups across all different like lines and backgrounds of life. We have done a lot. We are an incredible place in terms of just being like cool and shit, but we can't talk about the good. We can only talk about the bad. We can't talk, we have to like sit and harp on all the bad, but we're not allowed to look at the good that has come from that bad. That's what I think is so disingenuous. So all of those movements of the past that really, they fought really hard to get these changes got made, and now we're gonna just sit there and harp on those like it's still that time. I don't like that, dude. I don't like that. You can, I 100% stand for, yeah, we should call it out, say, yeah, this was pretty bad, but it also led to some good, right? It eventually, like, time did change, and we did get a little bit better from it. We grew as a society. I don't feel like we ever say we grew as a society enough. Another crazy thing is you can absolutely be anti-Hamas and anti-Zionist and be anti-war and support the people caught in the crossfire. In other words, be neutral, anti-war, and support the people. That's my position, 100% my position, every single step of this way. But I've been called Zionist just for not wanting civilians to die on either side, because you have to like in these guys' mind, you have to be 100% in or you're 100% out.
Camps are closed now in fucking Xinjiang, and it's like very different.
But the article Hassan read said they're slowing down camps because they possibly achieved their goals of subduing the Uyghurs and other Muslims in the area.
Very different vibes in Xinjiang, and now
yeah, they were fucking done. They're like, we did it, we won, guys. We have subdued the undesirables. It's over. That's why we're closing the camps. And this guy's like, look how good they're being. They closed them because they felt like they had made a whoopsie pupsie. But hyperpolitical people always insist you have to have concrete stance on foreign affairs. And yeah, you don't need to have a concrete stance on foreign affairs. I 100% believe that everything needs to be looked at through the lens of nuance, and there's criticism that can be levied at both sides at all times.
No, it's the tourism hour.
So now that we're through that, let's break down how extensive this lie is. Hassan doesn't engage with the point Ethan's making about his positions always being anti-West, even when it doesn't make sense. Instead, he focuses on an irrelevant podcast clip that said death camps. Then he brags about reading an anti-China article he read 4 years ago where he basically has kid gloves on while criticizing China for having concentration camps. And then he ignores how only a month later he was bragging about how great China was for culling the population and closing the camps. No viewer is going to take the time and fact check all of this. So Hassan knows he can just call Ethan's video poorly researched and clip chimped.
I'll just start out by saying we're 8 minutes in and his research is not so great. He doesn't prove his point at all.
China forced minorities on birth control, forced abortions through mandatory.
This is what I was talking about like them like they literally were like taking the women's right to like have kids so that they could quell the population, which is a form of genocide. Like the people that say that there wasn't any genocide that happened in China with the Uyghurs, this is genocide. 100% is genocide. You were quelling the population so more of the undesirables that you don't like won't be born. It's disgusting. It's absolutely abhorrent. And the fact, I love that Willie Mack's going into this, because this is stuff that I have gone into and I felt like it hasn't gotten enough attention. The fact that he was 100% sweeping for a genocide happening in China, but is on the side like pretending to be like fully like I've always been for the plight of Muslims. I've always been here to support the Islamic people being like attacked. It's bullshit. It's crap. It's fucking. He's a fugazi, brother.
Pregnancy tests and detention camps for having too many children. China's what happens when you successfully complete the genocide, but hey guys, at least they have high-speed rail.
It was literally an Associated Press article that I read talking about a high-speed rail line going all the way to Xinjiang, basically creating this massive network of high-speed rail that was seen as a negative, that was portrayed as a negative thing. People in Xinjiang still have freedom to travel in that regard.
No, they don't. The article he read literally said they don't. This whole segment is Hasan proving Ethan right. Doesn't matter to Hasan, just declare victory.
So one must ask the question, why Ethan Klein refuses to actually engage in any of the things that I'm saying, uses out of context clips, and also simultaneously has a very different standard for what China's doing as opposed to what Israel is doing.
You're literally the one doing all of that, using out of context clips, not engaging with him, rewriting history. These are all tactics he's done for years, and not just with big.
Want to break
Yeah,
into?
dude, like this is what's so funny to me. Like you can take and look at these the instances that he's pulling right now, and I've been saying this since my initial coverage of Hasan. I've been saying this from the beginning that this dude 100% like made the same worse arguments to defend China. And is now like calling people out for making like actual like, oh, maybe we shouldn't kill everybody. Maybe like absolutely eradicating one group isn't the best choice. Maybe supporting the terrorists isn't the greatest cause. Like having those makes you a monster. But no, supporting a genocide in China, that's not a big deal. Like the hypocrisy is just so thick, dude. This shit is like a pudding of hypocrisy.
With him, rewriting history. These are all tactics he's done for years, and not just with big things, small things too. He talks about the BDS boycott list. A fan comes up to him saying he needs to stop buying Coke on March 31st, 2024.
I'm sorry, I forgot to say, you need to stop drinking Coke Zero on stream.
Why?
It's boycott.
Wait, is it?
You're preaching pro-Palestine and you're drinking all this boycott stuff. Please, Hasan, at least pretend. Do it off stream. Please,
Okay, I'll put it in.
Dude, that's his entire content. It's just please pretend, Hasan.
Then on November 21st, 2024, he finally takes a huge stand against Coca-Cola.
As of today, the Palestinian BDS National Committee, the largest Palestinian coalition leading the global BDS movement, endorses the organic boycott campaign against Coca-Cola to pressure the company and to end its complicity in Israel's illegal occupation, apartheid, and genocide. I will no longer showcase Coca-Cola products on my stream. That means no more Diet Coke.
He then does a New York Times interview that took place on April 27, 2025. And what does Hasan got in his fridge? Diet Coke. This guy is telling his audience how great Disney Plus's show Andor is, even though it's supposed to be boycotted.
I finished Andor last night. It was amazing. It was incredible. What a payoff. What a payoff, dude. I highly recommend it. Obviously, Disney's.
Well, I mean, like, here's the thing, dude. Here's the thing that's like the clusterfuck of the progressive right now. You have to support everything that the like woke chuds don't like. So therefore, if the woke chuds don't like it, you gotta support it. But then at the same time, you can't support it because of the BDSM list. So you have both of these things like fighting against each other. And at the moment, you can fucking go in, you can support it, say you're owning the chuds, while then in the next stream talk about how bad Disney is because of their support of Israel, and your audience is too dumb to look a day back. That's just all that happens. It's so funny to me because your whole goal is like, oh, I'm gonna own the chuds, but then I'm also gonna condemn them, but own the chuds and then condemn them. It's so retarded, bro.
BDS, so you know you got to do what you got to do.
Not to mention, this guy also streams on Twitch, an Amazon-owned subsidiary that is also on the BDS list. But to Hasan, it doesn't count.
I'm gonna keep calling it the BDSM list because I think it's funny. By the way, in case you guys are wondering, I'm gonna keep doing that
because it's a subsidiary.
Amazon is on that list, but Amazon is not on that list for Twitch, and it's not on that list for.
Oh, shut the fuck up, dude. Amazon's on that list, but not because of Twitch. Twitch is fine, so I'm gonna keep streaming here. You're a fucking hypocrite, bro. Word salad your way through it, buddy. I know you're going to. Your audience is a bunch of retards.
A permanent.
And Dr. Pepper isn't owned. I saw his chat go by. Dr. Pepper's base. They're on the list, bro. They are a Texas-run company. Oh, the Dr. Pepper's like their own little. They're not owned by Pepsi or Coke, and they are absolutely like super pro-Israel. So to think that they're not, you're absolutely retarded.
Blockade of Amazon and all Amazon-related products because Palestinian National Committee understands that half of the websites that we are on and that we use AWS as its backend.
He's saying this while thanking his viewers for Twitch Prime's every other stream, only available with Amazon Prime, by the way.
Your contributions in the form of a subscription, that is $6 a month, or a free one in the form of a Twitch Prime is all that it takes. For free with a Twitch Prime, you can continue supporting the show. Or for free.
By the way, if you're curious about Dr. Pepper, it's right here. By the way, I don't think any of this works, but Dr. Pepper is parent company Kroger. Dr. Pepper is owned by Jab Holding Company, which is a pro-Israel company. The Riem family owns Jab Holding, are Zionists and support Israel through investment donation via their Alfred Lackdecker Foundation. Like right here, dude. Alternatives to Dr. Pepper. You have Red Bull and Bang and Roritos. I mean, like literally, you're just not allowed to drink soda. Basically, this is why these lists are so stupid, because there's so many fucking things on this list that it's ridiculous. Like, let's try Nike, dude. Can you wear Nike shoes? Oh, product stores in Israel. Oh, gotta ban them, dude. Gotta ban Nike. What about milk? Oh, Brandon Nestle. No, you can't have chocolate milk, brother. Well, what else can we pull up? PlayStation. What about Sony? Let's go Sony. Ooh, Sony safe to use. Look at that. What about Xbox? You can only own PlayStation. PlayStation Super Pro Israel, right? No Crunchyroll. Okay, Crunchyroll's safe. Okay, we can watch anime and play God of War, I guess. What about Steam, dude? Let's go Steam. Oh, Steam's safe. Okay, so you can play the Xbox games on Steam. That's the same logic he's using, right? So Xbox might be boycotted, but Steam's not. So if you buy the game through Steam, you see the retardation here, bro? This is so dumb.
With a Twitch Prime for free. With a Twitch Prime.
How can anyone respect this guy? He's telling people to risk jail time by dodging service, but he won't risk moving to another streaming platform. He doesn't tell people to stop using Twitch Prime. He doesn't turn off monetization on YouTube, but he won't even give up the pop he's drinking. These people suck. Even the one thing Hasan admits he's wrong.
He literally, he fucking, even if he didn't drink if he did get rid of the Diet Coke, he argued with Ethan Klein about his Dr. Pepper, and Dr. Pepper is like, no go. It's a bad. Dr. Pepper's a bad, bro. He needs to just only drink Red Bull, I guess.
On, he still does on a daily basis.
The first ever React game when people were getting mad at me because like I would have the chair on and while the videos are playing, totally fucking fair and valid. And for the past multiple years, that's not happened on my broadcast. Like there are instances where I get up to pee, but it's usually during a video that's playing.
By the way, every time I've ever gotten up to do the door or get somebody's at the door, or I have to use the restroom or make food real quick, I pause the stream, or it's like I wait till I'm done with whatever video I'm currently commentating on, and then I have a pause between segments so that I can go do one of these things. I have never let the video consistently keep playing while I get up from my fucking chair. I think that is lazy fucking coverage. That is abusing fair use, and it only will lead to us getting to the entire platform taking a hit because of your abuse of the rights that we have.
That's like from a friend or from news and commentary, and it's only for like 30 seconds to a minute.
You reacted to his video and you just sort of left, and it wasn't a political video. It was like a fun little video.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it's a Hasan video, you can just sit here and you can literally just let the video play in its entirety. Say, oh, that's cool. That's cool. And this is a problem. A lot of people get mad at me for yapping as much, but like I'm using this because I have my own points to make about this. I usually have my own agenda going in that I want to cover certain things that I want to cover, and I'm utilizing this as a kind of jumping off point. We're here for my content. We're not here for Willie Mack. I mean, he is definitely helping the video along, helping structure. I am using it as a jumping off point to make my own points, and I feel like a lot of these people are just using these videos to say the shit that they want their audience to hear without them having to do the work or put in any sort of effort. And I see that just so lazily, bro.
I think his point was valid. In that,
yeah, and I apologize. By the way, that's another thing. I literally apologized to that person instantly, and then they basically like quintupled down and like did this like 8-hour broadcast with a bunch of like random fucking slop tuber commentary people, and I was like, what the fuck? I think this guy's
Dude,
just
I got a winky face in chat. Now, are we? What are we? Is it because I'm so sexy, dude? Is it because my beard's messy and online? That's probably why I'm getting winky faces. That or they think that I am the worst slop creator in the entire history of slop. But that's okay. Either way, I'm having fun with it.
like trying to farm drama out of this.
He's intentionally lying. He initially responded to Jay by saying he had no other choice but to leave and eat while the video was still playing.
You could leave a sign saying "gone for a dump" back in 5, or could just give credit where it's due and actually react while he's in the room. Doesn't seem like a lot to ask. These motherfuckers are like, dude, peanut bottle, dude. On him, how is it any different than him just watching a YouTube video off stream? It just rubs me the wrong way. Like, how do you think of your viewers to just stream your break? Dude, what am I supposed to do? Die? Like, I don't understand.
Dude, you wait until the video's done, until the segment that you are currently working on for your stream is done. You say, okay, before I fire up the next thing, I'm gonna go run to the bathroom real quick. And then, like, when you get a little far, like, you have the resources to put down like a segment page. Now, I don't know how to do that yet. I'm still working on it. But you could make some original content, right? Make some like actual breakdowns. Have somebody clip up some funny moments of you, and then just have that play during that segment while your chat just kind of like laughs and like talks with each other. You can come back and then stop that segment and then go back to doing your thing. Now for me, it's just a blank page, and I'm sure people leave during that time, but I don't care that much because I enjoy the fact that I get to take my little break. I come back, yeah, it's kind of dead over here, but I'm using this to create VODs and stuff to bolster my channel with a bunch of different activity. But at the same time, I don't ever leave the clip playing because that's fucking bad job. That you're doing a shit job. Or at least keep one of your videos up, just in case. Keep it up in your fucking top tab so that you can click on it, put it up on when you're using the restroom or making yourself some like fucking sandwiches or some shit. And then when you come back, stop the video and go back to your next segment. It's not very hard. Nobody's asking you to piss into a fucking bottle, Hasan.
Stand.
When Jay pointed out how immature Hasan is, he called Jay a Nazi.
This is what I said 1 fucking year ago. Since then, he made a video, or they made a video. Afterwards, they had like a bunch of Nazis on the kill stream get together and do an 8-hour reaction to my entire stream.
Hasan has backtracked to call Jay a farmer over this, but Jay wasn't even on that stream. Jay is on Twitter laughing at how wrong Hasan's rewriting of history has been. But
dude, it's so great. It's so great how he just like lumps people together, does zero research. Somebody in his chat says, you can play, I upload a cute little short of a deer. I'll definitely check out that deer short after this. But dude, you look at that. You look at the fact that Hasan just rewrites history all the time just so that he can call people who disagree with him Nazis. It's just such an easy tactic. It's so pathetically easy at this point. I just, anytime I hear somebody call somebody else a Nazi, I just don't think that I don't even like for a second think that they might have any credibility. I have to go do the legwork to find out what he actually said, and most of the time it's like he criticized Hasan for being a goon bag, and I'm like, wow, that doesn't mean Nazism at all.
Funniest part is Hasan is still doing all of this. The day I wrote this segment, Hasan was on stream reacting to a video. He's halfway through and he didn't even know if it was AI or not.
Is this AI? Did Fireship make this video with fucking AI? We only watched a couple slop videos, and now immediately
why are we watching slop videos? I thought you were a serious political pundit, Hasan. I thought you didn't engage in slop. He does. That's the point. He's just a drama YouTuber with a political slant.
Brain is wired in a way where I'm thinking this could perhaps be AI.
He then drinks his Dr. Pepper and unpauses the video to go grab his Uber Eats, shouting chair stream because he knows what he's doing is wrong.
Check this.
But what might be more exciting is the release of Gemma 3.
What a piece of shit, dude. This is exactly what's going to lead to more stringent, disgusting shit on this. Because of fucking like asshole gapers like this douchebag, dude. He's the asshole gaping king. He just like leaves, and then eventually this will have ramifications for the entire ecosystem and making content on the platform that much harder. Like, you think, you're just being defensive about this because you make commentary slop, right, King Jiffy? No, you have to remember that the reason you're allowed to stream gameplay footage, the reason you're allowed to talk about movies, the reason you're allowed to talk about entertainment is because of fair use. That gets taken away and copyright starts getting enforced a lot harder. You're not allowed to do any of that shit. I don't think a lot of people understand how important fair use is, and by abusing it like this, you could fuck up your entire channel. And it's not just commentary. It's not just reaction shit. It is like all encompassing. You'd have to only make like absolutely original sketches, absolutely original, to where it doesn't you're basically making your own movies, which is fine, and a lot of people do make that. But we like, if like, oh, you want to be a documentarian, but you want to utilize old clips, well, that's breaking copyright. You know what I mean? Like, this could have absolutely insane ramifications. They could ruin everything that was built in the past because of shit like this. And I think that this is stuff that people need to be mindful of if you're a streamer.
Gemma models are open, so as a developer, you can.
He comes back adding the incredible commentary of terrifying. Even though he has no clue what's going on. And before I can even finish the sentence, he leaves again.
And I think it could be.
By the time he finishes grabbing his Mountain Dew, the video is over.
Link below. This has been the Code Report. Thanks for watching.
He watched a minute of the video. 1 minute of the video. He was in the room. Like, can you fucking realize how bad this could be for the platform?
And I will see you in the next one.
This is different than just putting your face. He doesn't even have the audacity to just put his face in the corner. He can't even do that. He's just fucking dips.
He added nothing to the video. But when asked if he was still doing this on stream, he's going to lie and say he stopped.
A bunch of stuff that I did initially that I changed. I don't do anymore. Like I don't cook food while on stream. Like I order. Like there's a bunch of stuff that I used to do that I don't do anymore. In an effort to, like, you know, reduce the chair time. The thing that I was frustrated by is that people were just like saying that all I do is just like put the chair on and fuck off. And that was annoying to me because it's like,
that's literally what you still do. You're a fucking hypocrite piece of shit.
Before the ReactGate shit, I was known for being a person who paused all the time and like added way too much information to the.
And that's what I do, and I will continue doing, because that means that this is my content, and I'm not just ripping off somebody else's content. I think it's so funny. Every time I get a comment there is like, you talk too much. Well, that's fucking fine. You're here. This is my video. This is my video now. I am changing the video. I am in the bounds of fair use at this point. I am doing my best to add everything that I want to say into this and make the points that I want to make. And that's what makes this my content and transformative, and not just fucking me sitting here with my face in the corner just shaking my head the entire time.
Video that like people lost the plot of the video.
Brother, your viewers complaining that your attempts to make a video fair use are boring does not make it okay to walk away from a video while it's still playing.
Unironically think like there's just a chair for an hour for like a 15-minute YouTube video.
There shouldn't ever just be a chair at all. That's what everyone is saying is
that's the problem. 100%. And like, if you have shit playing while you're not on stream, that is not under fair use. That is just you playing other people's content, which is fucking wrong.
Offensively against fair use.
I've taken the notes from all of the people.
I won't ever hit anybody with copyright, right? I'm never gonna do that shit. That's not gonna be for me. If you want to re-upload every one of my segments where I'm like playing with my nipples, I'm fucking jerking like an absolute madman, I am sitting here getting showered in fucking semen, that is fine. Do whatever you want with my content. I am absolutely fine with it. I have no problems. But to pretend that you're sitting here and utilizing fair use when you're not even watching the video, you're not even in the room, that's insane. That is not, that you have no grounds to stand on. I mean, like, I feel like I have grounds because I fucking changed the shit out of this. I always add like way more time than is necessary because I'm a fucking king of yapping.
People that shit on me for years over that, which is part of the reason why you don't really hear too much about people saying that I'm like.
I mean, you hear about it all the time. That is like one of the biggest things that are called. The fact that he says this shit is to try to change a narrative. He's trying to change the narrative to fit what he wants it to fit. This is a constant Hassan tactic.
Unfairly or whatever. I rarely ever react to like an unknown channel anyway nowadays, and it's mostly just like news and commentary that I'm adding additional commentary over.
People don't respond to you doing it anymore because you've clearly shown you don't care and that you're not going to stop. Him saying it's fine because he mostly does it to the news. It's not true, but it also doesn't matter. Fair use doesn't stop at you watching the news. Ethan just released a video showing how blatantly these people steal content rather than transforming it.
Here's Casey Trons. She smoked more than she spoke. Casey Tron smokes 42 times during her reaction. And just as a silly thought experiment, we thought, wouldn't it be funny if she spent more time smoking than she did talking? Well, we tallied them up, and lo and behold, there's 15.
Jesus, like, could you imagine that your entire commentary for the entire video is just you smoking? You had 15 minutes of discussion to an hour-long video. It's like almost a 2-hour-long video. A 2-hour-long video, you add 15 minutes of talking. And when it comes down to actual fucking what else you're doing on camera, you're doing 18 minutes of other fucking smoking and not adding anything else other than just like making yourself stoned. That's insane.
15 minutes 40 seconds of commentary versus 18 minutes and 55 seconds of smoking. She spent 3 minutes and 15 seconds longer smoking than she did talking in her quote-unquote reaction. And whatever talking she did was just to express how confused she was, presumably from smoking 42 times.
What is happening? I'm trying to follow. I've lost the plot.
So he lies about small things, lies about big things, rewrites history, argues positions that his critics don't have, calls for others to make sacrifices while he can't give up a single luxury in his life, and he aligns himself with doxers and harassers as long as they're on his side. Mislabel everyone, dodge every critique, in the name of them being right-wingers or Nazis or genocide supporters.
Dude, literally, when I did my Ethan Klein thing, I tried to skip around, which I actually looked at. Mine's like 2 hours and 20 minutes, but I try to skip around as much as I can to try to simplify it all down into a really like bite-sized format, and I still ended up with 2 fucking hours, dude. I still tried to condense it the best I could, and I couldn't do that because it was so fucking long. Like I tried my best to make a shorter version of what everybody else was uploading, and I still ended up with 2 hours, bro. It was like, and the fact that like people went out and they just like fucking sat there and just listened, right? They just listened. They didn't add any context. It's like, dude, you could have just skipped around. You could have skipped around, made some points, watch the video, pre-watch it, then go in and say, okay, this is what happens during here. We're going to skip to this part because I think it's a lot harder hitting, or whatever, dude, you know, speed it up. There's millions of different ways where you can still add a ton of your own narrative in and still fundamentally change the topic and be safe under fair use. Yeah, you're gaping your ass for that fair use dick to shove right in there and tickle your prostate. But instead, what you do is you just sit there and let the video play, and it's like, oh, well, look, mine's slightly longer. Get the fuck out of here.
Though none of it might be true.
Ethan's a right wing, obviously. These people either directly support or tacitly support child murder, mass child murder. That's ultimately what it is. This is the main point of contention. Be mean to them. If they feel bad, if they feel harassed, honestly, great. I don't give a fuck. Fuck them. Fuck each and every one of them. We need to be mean to these guys. We need to be assholes. They deserve it.
He literally has an old stream clip explaining his current day tactics.
You deny, you deflect, and then you counterattack the person who like launched this investigation on you, and you try to claim that like there's a hidden bias there. And most lizard brain dipshits who like love you unconditionally will go, oh, finally I have an out to defend this person.
These people aren't good faith actors. They aren't civil rights leaders. They're social narcissists that prey on their viewers' fears to make a bag. They're like the meme where the peasants are rioting to get.
Well, I think this is it here, right? This is it here. Okay. Citizens, and because you're mad is like fucked. It's terrorism. We're not gonna listen to me talk. We're not gonna listen to me talk. But we're gonna go yammer jammer constantly throughout this entire fucking thing. I skip around. I mean, that's my entire premise. I mean, we could skip here. Look at exactly what happened in the past. Music, bro. What the fuck is this? Really incredible stories about mom. You're just as bad as her. To take any group and then make sure that, dude, well, I clicked 6 different places in this video and I'm the one talking. It gets to the point that I talk more than the actual video at times, and that's a problem, bro. Like, to some people. To me, it's perfect. It's perfect. That means that I'm actually sitting under fair use.
More pay, and Hassan's the king looking at all of his treasure going, I'll help.
And the sad thing about that video is my goal was to try to get it under an hour. My goal was to try to get that shit under an hour so that I could like beat a lot of the other commentary videos out to talk about it, and I completely lost. I utterly failed. This video was only supposed to be like 20 minutes, and I feel like I made this an hour.
spread the message. I'm out of town right now, as you guys could probably tell, but I felt like it was important to make this video to document all of the
He's just at Sam Hyde's house. I'm just kidding.
craziness going on right now. People should know what these guys have been up to. Shout out to everyone who's been reacting to my content. I've enjoyed seeing it, and it's actually been in fair use. You're all legends. I have one more video covering the more unhinged side of this topic. Yes,
and I can't wait to cover this as well, dude. Anytime Willie Mack drops, I am like fully there. I think he does an incredible coverage for the most part. I've criticized him in the past when he needs to be criticized, but for the most part, I do try to do my best to give him fair criticism, and I think that's what you should do. Even if you absolutely agree with 99% of somebody's takes, if you disagree, you should make it known, and you shouldn't, like, even if you know that some of your fan base is going to disagree with you, that's okay. That's what makes you not just a puppet of another person's cog.
Gets worse, so subscribe.
You're a puppet on somebody else's cock, baby. You're just sitting there sucking until you get the clout you think you deserve. That's how you end up in like a Hassan orbit or a Destiny orbit or any of these fucking political goonbags orbit. Is you're too scared to speak out against them and have like a slightly different opinion, that you just become a fucking another vehicle. Like you become another person in the rotation of getting ass fucked is what's happening.
To the channel. Shout out to the homies over on Patreon: Crimson Glass, Riveter, Christina Vina, Mac Monkey, Drink Kobex, Necro Valley, The Confusing Opinion, Eddie Bizzle, Tismic Fitz, Christopher H, Sennial Music, Lucasif, ET Automatic, Snoopy Poop Doop 2, Amur ML Bay, Rooney Boo, Drew is Sharon, Clown Factory, Monkey D Luffy, Shura, Mustard Shirt Guy.
Oh, dude, we got Monkey D Luffy. It's better than the Houthi Luffy. That's kind of his video. I think it was really good. I mean, I obviously yap like endlessly, but here's the thing, dude. Here's the thing. I think that what's happening right now with the Ethan Klein thing is scary. It is scary because this could drastically change the internet to kind of reverse some of the things that he fought for initially, and now he's putting a stop point. And how far that stop point affects the internet moving forward, where you get unhinged people like Dark Viper AU who thinks that using any clip of you, basically, now I don't know the whole Dark Viper AU saga. I know that he was copyright claiming tons of people, and if I hate when everybody's like, oh well, if you use my content in any sort of situation, I'm going to strike you for it. I hate those people. I think those guys don't believe in fair use. They don't believe in it, and then yet they'll talk about video games, they'll talk about movies, and they utilize free use in every situation. But when somebody else criticizes them, they're willing to strike down, and so it's liberties for me, but not for thee. And I hate that shit. And I'm scared that this is gonna have massive ramifications in that regard. But I also see the fact that we have allowed these Twitch people and these Kick people to just sit there and let videos play endlessly while they fucking shake their tits or like clap their ass cheeks together or sit there and eat their fucking empanadas or whatever on stream without putting any extra commentary or added shit into the video. And this is going to have massive ramifications for the future, and I don't like that we've gotten to this point, and I don't like that these guys abused it to this happening. And this is the shit that they were talking about years ago, where I was on XQC's side, where I was like, I really didn't like what XQC was doing, but I didn't want these changes to happen. And we all saw this coming from that instance, and it was all heading down that hill, and the internet was like all against XQC and Sniper Wolf because of the fact they weren't adding any context to their videos, and they kept saying that if this type of stuff keeps happening, eventually somebody's going to sue you. And it didn't happen to them, but it happened to people who do the same thing as them, and this is gonna have massive ramifications. So that's all I got for you guys. Hassan's still a fucking dirty ass goon bag, so that hasn't changed, and I'll catch you on the next one. Make sure to like and subscribe.